playing a bit with the true-false component, let's take a look at how you would go about instead of doing the multiple choice component. Now, in many ways, the multiple choice component is a generalization of the true-false component, right? Meaning, in a true-false questions, you really have just two options, right? Whereas in a multiple choice question, you have many different options. So you could say that the true-false question is just a special case of the multiple choice question, right, where you only have two options and their options are only true, false, right? So anyway, so let's head over to the multiple choice question and see how we could go about working on that. Now, if you remember the from the server, the multiple choice question, right, it has a question, like all questions. It has a correct, but also it has choices. See that, the choices? So these choices are in the form of an array. So what we could do is just iterate over all these choices and create a radio button for each one of the choices, right? And then, depending on which one you select, we can compare the one that you select and compare it against the correct. So let's use that strategy. Let's head over to our multiple choice, right? And what we're going to do is that we already have the question, right? So let's head over to the HTML for the multiple choice. And let's see, we have maybe H3 like we did for the H3, right? And we might want also to look at the question itself. So this would be question. Okay, there it is. A multiple choice question and the question for the multiple choice. We then want to render an input field for every single choice that we have, right? So, and we're going to do that with radio buttons, right? So we'll say take the input field and it's going to be type radio. Okay, there it is, right there. But we want to do a whole bunch of these, right? So what we could do is that we could iterate and just print several of these input fields. We could do that. Better yet, what we're going to do is that we're going to put this inside of a div and then iterate the div instead, right? So what we're going to do is that we're going to ng4, right? We're going to iterate over all the options. So let option of the question. The options are in the questions, right? So options, there they are, right? And let's see what that does. Oops, something went wrong. Options, question, options. Option, ngr, is it not option? Let's see. Okay, let's see. Yeah, there is some lagging. I'm sorry. Oh, it's not options. It's choices. Okay, let's head over back there. So it's choices. So choices. So this is choice. It's multiple choice. Yeah. There they are. Okay, so there's our radio buttons, right? And we would like to display each one of the options right next to it. So perhaps we can do the choice and display it right here. So choice. There they are, right? What does JPA stand for? You know, Java pseudo API, blah, 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 right? But notice that they're not mutually exclusive. So we could use the same technique that we used earlier to make these mutually exclusive. We can say that the name for these will be the ID of the question, question._ID. Right, so now they are mutually exclusive. There they are, right? And we could also, you know, associate the value. We could give it the value of each one of these would be the actual choice, so that when you click on it, right, we can bind it to a variable of your answer. Right. So for instance, we can declare an answer variable here, answer, right? That initially is an empty string. And what we could do is display it down below. We can say that your answer, right, is equal to answer, right? And that value is going to change as you select the different radio buttons, right? So we're going to bind with ng model, bind it to the answer, right? So that as you select different options, notice that the answer appears down below here, right? Right? And what you can do is that once you have that answer, you can compare it against the correct answer because you have that as well. Right? Down below, right, we can have and display your correct answer, right? Question dot correct. So there's a correct answer, right? And depending on as you select different ones, you can compare, right, the answer that you selected, compare it against the correct answer, and based on whether they're the same or not the same, I believe the assignment asks you to highlight each one of these, right, and put maybe a check box or an X at the right-hand side of each one of these, right, and also highlight and whatnot the correct answer and the wrong answer. So anyway, so follow those examples as described in the assignment.